Welcome to Leveraging from the Experts by Customized Training Solutions. Hi everyone, my name is Marilyn from Customized Training Solutions, and it's our great pleasure to have Duncan Williamson today to find out more on finance for non-financial managers. He actually worked on accounting, financial modeling, and economic appraisal of projects in several countries over many years. Duncan published books, articles, case studies, and this includes the book The Accounting and Bookkeeping Coach, published in April of 2014, and recently Finance for Non-Financial Managers, published January of 2016. Hi, Duncan. Can you please tell more about yourself?
Well, originally I'm from England, although now I'm living in Thailand. And as you suggested, my area of expertise is finance, accounting, financial modeling, and so on. And I've been working in this kind of environment now in the Middle East, the Far East, as well as Central Europe, for about 15 years now, doing this kind of work that we're talking about. My expertise in finance for non-financial managers is that I've been an accountant in various industries, mainly process industries, and of course I work with non-financial managers there, and so they need to know what I know, and I have to explain it in terms that they understand. And various consultancies to do the same or similar work, and that's roughly what I've been doing, so that's why I'm qualified for this job.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for that information, Duncan. Tell us about what finance for non-financial manager is. What is it about?
Really, however you do it, it's an education program, because I've worked with some senior and not so senior managers who are really smart when it comes to finance. They understand everything that I talk about, and in fact, in some cases, they know more than I do because they've been doing it specifically for their function for quite a while. But on average, people don't know finance and they don't know accounting. More than that, like mathematics, they're afraid of it. And then they think they know something and actually it doesn't work. So my job always is, even when I was an accountant, is as an educator to take them through why their variances, their differences between actual and budget are the way they are, and of course why that's important, and then what we can do about it. So my job has always been education.
Thank you for sharing with us more about finance for non-financial managers. And please share with us or tell us why finance for financial manager is important.
They always say that accounting is a language of business, and that's true. Of course, if you have a wonderful product or a wonderful service, the money just flows in because you can sell it at a premium, and you don't care about costs, and revenues seem to be assured. But the average business is not like that. The average business needs cost control, it needs process control, it needs people control, and because of that, if you don't understand all the backgrounds, even if you're the smartest engineer and scientist in the world, if you can't control what's happening, both to the finance and to the process, then you aren't going anywhere. You don't survive.
Thank you for sharing how this topic is important in a business survival, especially for average businesses. May we know what are some of the benefits of attending this course?
Well, I brought with me the contents of my book, Finance for Non-Financial Managers, and I'll just give you some idea of what's in there. Now, I don't propose that we would do all of this in the course, but this is the kind of thing that I think a good solid foundation for non-financial managers would include. But I like to begin by what I call building the accounting picture, which is definitions, descriptions, and examples of the kind of work that you see. You can go online and find, let's say, the financial statements of Microsoft or Amazon or your local company listed in the Singapore stock market, and you'll see there's income statements, balance sheets, and so on. So we talk about that. What are they, and what's in there, and why might mine be different from yours? And then from there, we'll have a look at bookkeeping. Not everyone wants to be a bookkeeper. It's not important for everyone. But I think there's something called duality with accounting. Every debit has a credit. What's on the left side has to equal what's on the right side, And you do need to understand that when you're looking at and trying to explain what's happening in financial statements. But then we'll have a look at more seriously, in some respects, what I've called business analysis, which is credit analysis, share analysis, planning analysis, finance analysis, all of those with a financial background. And then in terms of those who are interested in stock markets, or if you've got a company that's floating on the stock market or already has shares there, there's something called technical and fundamental analysis, which we'll have a look at to try and understand what the market thinks of your company. And just as an example, imagine you have a new invention from research and development, and then you suddenly announce that. What impact does that have on your shares, the price of shares and the future price of shares? And then we'll have a look at benchmarking. So is your company on track with the rest of the industry, the rest of your sector? And how do you know? And what benchmarks, what KPI should you be looking at? And how do you find out what the KPI should be? And then finally, we'll have a look at non-financial data, since many companies fall foul of not looking at the non-financial data, such as people, processes, systems, and so on, even law and marketing. So what non-financial information should be taken into account as well? And essentially that's it. That's what we look at. It's very broad in scope. It's not massively deep, because you can't do that in a non-financial manager's course, but it's broad, and you should find it really very interesting.
Wow, there's a lot of benefits that they can get from this particular program. That includes analysis, and you've mentioned stock markets, even KPI and benchmarking, which I believe is very important in any decision making for any business. And can you please share with us what makes this training different from others?
Well, number one, I've been doing this job for a long time, so I've got a lot of materials. Secondly, when you write a book, as I've done several times now, as you mentioned, it concentrates your mind. And in fact, what I did with this, excuse me, what I did with this book is I aimed it at junior, middle, and senior managers. So there are things that a junior manager can do in the book, in the training, and middle and senior managers. And as I wrote the text, I also wrote a series of examples and cases and spreadsheets and spreadsheet models and so on, for practice, for demonstration for practice. And actually, that is a second book. That book, once I've printed it out, it's as big as the main book itself, which tells you that this is a really very practical course. It's a very practical subject, and that there's a lot of hands-on practice, modelling, scheduling, discussion, cases, exercises, all those kinds of things. There's a lot of it. You don't always get that in courses. Sometimes it's very academic, very dry, but this is really very hands-on.
Thank you for sharing us what makes this program different from others. And it's great to hear that this training is practical with a lot of hands-on activities such as exercises, modeling, and case studies that participants can benefit from. We believe that most professionals would want to attend professional trainings that they can make use of once they're back to work. So, what tips or techniques that you can give professionals who are involved in this topic, or participants who would want to attend this kind of training?
Yeah, tips. I've got two tips really. Number one, I mentioned earlier that people are afraid of finance and accounting and so on, and they are, but they're also afraid of arithmetic and mathematics. And there isn't a massive amount of arithmetic and mathematics in finance and accounting at the kind of level we're talking about, but it's there. There's no doubt it's there. So be ready. Basic algebra, addition, subtraction, multiplication. Be able to be confident, really, in basic arithmetic and mathematics. And secondly, it's not a spreadsheeting course. We're not looking at making anyone an Excel master or anything like that. But I do use Excel modeling maybe 2 or 3 times a day, especially for things like ratio analysis. We can do a lot of calculations by hand, but it takes a long time. So by using a spreadsheet, we can present charts and tables and do the arithmetic and mathematics automatically. Often I prepare a template for them to use, and that solves all problems, really. So arithmetic, mathematics, and spreadsheeting. Just be confident with them.
Okay. Thank you for those valuable tips as well as for taking time to share with us more about this topic and why should we attend this program. We look forward to learn more from you on this upcoming course on finance for non-financial managers on the 25th to the 27th of July 2016 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. For more information and registration, please visit us at www.ctssingapore.com. And thank you again, Duncan.
Thanks, Marilyn, and thanks for this opportunity. And I know in this region particularly, we do short, intensive courses, and they are preferable to the ones that you find in some parts of the world, which are maybe 5 days long, shorter days, and they're not as interesting. They're not so intensive, and these are more intensive, more interesting here in this region. So I'm looking forward to it.
We appreciate you joining us on this interview with Duncan Williamson on finance for non-financial managers here at Leveraging from the Experts by Customized Training Solutions. We look forward to see you in our training soon.